Good morning, everyone. Merch Hunter Ricky back, and this morning I have a kind of a quick theory, but I want to belt it out while it's still in my mind. So this is a theory that is for people who are caught up to One Piece chapter 1123. Now, if you haven't caught up to it, this isn't necessarily like hyper spoilers, but basically my theory is we're going to have potentially 3 extra crewmates currently, like for a small amount of time on the ship, right? Bonney, Lillith, and potentially Sentomaru. We don't know where the F he is right now, if he's going to get it out alive, he's going to make it out alive, whatever. But what we do know is if he does make it out alive, he will not be welcomed anywhere by the world government, considering he betrayed them and he's someone with an authority chip. Now, the other 2 people, seemingly with the authority chips as well, Bonney and Lillith, they're all potentially able to escape with the Straw Hats. As of 1123, Bonney and Lillith are with the Straw Hats. We still don't know where Sentomaru is, but if he pops in, he pops in, We don't know yet. But basically my theory is Bonney is going to stay with the Straw Hats long enough to find a permanent home in Elbaf. Hopefully she can take care of Kuma there. Maybe someone will give him an honorable burial or what have you, right? I believe Lillith will continue to party with the Straw Hats. She's going to go on the adventure. She might be the 10th Straw Hat, or she'll be like a Kinemon-style ally, if that makes sense. And then going further, we have Sentomaru. Now, Sentomaru, very unknown what's going to happen. He's not on the ship, and Egghead necessarily isn't destroyed yet, but with all the Marines getting knocked out and whatnot, he might have a chance. If nobody else with a higher power level than him sees him, he might have a chance to actually make it out alive, right? Now, if he does, I think he's going to run to Sword. Randy Troy has talked a lot about Sword, saying like Law will be a member of Sword or currently is a secret member of Sword. He's got a lot of good thoughts on Sword. So if you go and watch his video and digest really what Randy is trying to put down with Sword, I think, and like with Garp maybe being the potential leader of Sword, I think there's no better fit for Sword than my man with the axe, Sentomaru. If there's someone more useful to Sentomaru than Sword, I would have to say Dragon in the Revolutionaries, because he's got an authority chip, you know what I mean? He can control the Seraphim, and that's going to be a big deal in the coming war, which is why I talked about these 3 people, Bonney, Lillith, and Sentomaru. They have authority levels on the hierarchy, not just like access to the chip. They don't need it. They already have a hierarchical programming, and I assume Bonney supersedes what anyone tells S. Bear, right? Because he's a Kuma-shaped one, and Vegapunk said all the Kuma clones love and listen to Bonney, okay? Now, that's the theory. Let me know if you like it. Have a good day. Alright, so I want to pick up where I left off on the first part of the video to kind of bolster what I mean by my theory of, for example, Bonney going to Elbaf to find her home with Kuma. I think that this is probably the safest area for her, considering this is an area of people who have never been affiliated with the world government, and it seems that the world government does not possess the means to make them capitulate. Furthermore, I feel like Bonney herself, with her power of being on the hierarchy of commands for the Seraphim and the Kumas, that she needs to be removed, and the world government not being able to access her in Warland and in Elbaf, very important, and that's really my main reasoning. The Giants are very soft, very loving people, and Bonney can turn into Nika, the god they worship. All these things compiled together makes me think that Bonney's realistic and most intellectual location is at home, safely in Elbaf with Kuma. For Lillith, I think that her desire for adventure, constantly living in a prison and in a cage, as she said, and she cried over the deaths of the Vegapunks. However, she still made time to congratulate Luffy and to dry his tears. And I find that to be a quality befitting of the next Straw Hat. Now, whether she actually becomes a literal Straw Hat or just a Kinemon-style ally, I don't know. But I genuinely think she's going to be sticking with us. She's going to be sailing with us for the next round. And then finally, Sentomaru. Now, I genuinely think that if he lives, he will go to sword. So here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. I have read the chapter as of yesterday, 1124. I will give spoilers briefly, but I will only say them for about a quick second, and then you can skip right back over the spoiler bar. Sentomaru does live, and I'm kind of mind blown. He's got nowhere to go. Someone else with nowhere to go, Law. Randy Troy says Law is a member of Sword. Well, I think there's no better place to go in Sword than the boy with the axe, Sentomaru. I think he can do some real good. I think he can do some important work, controlling the remaining Pacifista, controlling the remaining Seraphim on behalf of the on behalf of the Revolutionary Army. Should he come into contact with them, I feel like that's also a good route for him. Should he not be able to make his way to Sword quickly without being apprehended by the world government, because that is the last thing I want for him. There are some characters where I totally accept their consequences, but not Sentomaru. I've become too attached to him.